Hello.
And welcome to Sports Right Now with Boots and Poops. Alright, Poops. We're going to start off. We're going to get to the NFL later in our broadcast, but I just have a few things to touch on before we get to that. But before we start the show, we got to remind you guys to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please do that. It's really helping us out because we really want to do a live stream. Hey, guess what? You can't do a live stream without 50 subscribers, so we need you guys. Please.
We beg you.
We have a bit of a challenge for you guys. If you can hit the subscribe and like button in 5 seconds with your thumb, give yourself a pat on the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did you do it? If you did, give yourself a pat on the back. But let's get into the show now. Who's your favorite team right now? Who do you think is the best team in the NBA, Poops? Right now.
Who's playing the best right now?
Who do you think is the best
Or
team?
the best team in the long run?
Who's playing? Let's go with who's playing the best right now.
I would say the Suns.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't think you can argue with
You can't
it.
argue with it because the Warriors, they've lost to the Sixers. And
They're too focused on Steph getting this record.
I know.
I think, really, it's
It's
not just
throwing them
Steph.
off.
It's the whole team.
Yeah, because
They
they're
started
too
ta-
preoccupied with it.
They were talking about it too early. We were talking about it too early. Everybody's saying, maybe he can get 16. Nobody had ever gotten more than 14. That's ridiculous. I really think they kind of lost their focus on what
So
they're
you're
really
going with the
supposed to do.
Suns.
But I'm only saying that for this moment.
I'm also going with the Suns because, I mean, Chris Paul is facilitating, and they don't even have Booker back yet. So once they get those pieces, I know we said playing the best right now, but if you compare the Warriors, you got to consider Booker and Clay to be about the same level, and they're playing great without Booker.
Well, I don't know if I would agree with that.
Booker is more important.
No.
You can't say Clay's more
when
important.
assuming Clay was healthy, you add his defense in.
All right, it's even. I'd say it's pretty even because the offense.
Clay is a better shooter.
The offense of Booker is better, but
he has more offense, but that's because he's the dominant offensive guy there.
All right.
I don't know you can really say he's a better player.
All right, we got NCAA new basketball rankings. Baylor number 1.
Well, everybody knew
Baylor number 1, Duke number 2, Purdue 3, UCLA 4, and Gonzaga 5, and Alabama number 6.
Yeah. Well, they had a good win.
This is what I have to say.
What about Rutgers?
Rutgers?
No, did you know they lost that right away?
Yes, I know. Does he? No.
Well, Seton Hall's a decent team, but
Seton Hall's
still, Rutgers one night, that's their glory.
Yep. All right. Well, here's my question to you about this.
Okay.
These rankings really interest me, especially the ranking of 1 and 6. What do you think is
Who was 6 again? Bama?
Alabama.
Okay.
Do you think who do you think is the best football and basketball school combined? Like in the past, I'd say it's been Michigan, but now who do you think?
Well, you can't average it out. Well, no, because they both had a national championship, and now a repeat number 1. You know, Baylor won. So that, but you can't say it because Alabama has won a bunch of national championships. So you got to say, and Alabama, Baylor isn't normally in the Final Four, so it's not like they've dominated college basketball.
No, but they're number 1 now.
No, but this is 2 years. And it's an amazing achievement. I give them all the credit in the world. They lose 4 players, and they seem better.
So you're going with Alabama?
Yeah, you have to go with Alabama.
It's not a question between just Alabama. I mean, there's Michigan, there's Ohio State. Michigan's not that good in basketball this year, I guess. But
nobody, I mean, that dominance, nobody has actually, well, Alabama's never won basketball. Michigan has won both, but we're talking about,
Florida,
50 years ago or something.
Okay, I'm gonna say right now.
I think I would go Alabama.
It's got to be Alabama because of how dominant they are in football.
Yeah.
I mean, Nick Saban's won 7 championships there, or 6 championships there.
I believe it's.
It's 7. I think it's 7.
Yeah, it's 6 because
Six.
he's won 7
total.
Remember, he got
Correct.
the one at LSU.
Yeah. Alabama, though, is such a powerhouse. And if you remember, they were good. They were number 2 seed in the tournament last year. So.
But I don't know they've ever really contended for a championship in basketball.
Yes, they were number 2 seed and they made it to the Sweet 16 and they got punched out by UCLA, who ended up going to the Final Four.
Yeah, they've been good.
And UCLA probably should have very easily could have gone to the championship last year.
Because of that OT.
Yeah, and Suggs hitting that.
But I think we're passing over Baylor's accomplishment.
No.
You know, all these teams
obviously
got to the number 1 and then the same week they were out.
Mm-hmm.
Baylor might actually stick because they're amazing defense.
Yeah.
I don't know how much I would say about their offense, but do you know when they played Nova? Do you know how many points Nova got?
No, absolutely.
Nova got 36 points in that game.
It was 57-36.
That's the lowest number of points by a top 10 team in 36 years.
By the way, Nova is now number 9 as a 3-loss team.
No, but they scored 36 points. They shot 22%.
I don't know if they should still be top 10 after this.
But that's really how dominant Baylor's D is.
But also, you got to consider the fact they probably also had not a great shooting night. They probably missed some open shots.
I think they were shut down by suffocating defense. Do you know Baylor never was number 1 last year when they won the national title? They never were number 1 at any point in the season.
I know.
Till, after the
Yeah,
championship
but they were always
game.
number 2 to Gonzaga.
So, they now are number 1.
Yes. Okay, what about women's? UConn drops to number 7, lowest since 2007.
Well, I just think that's shocking. Can you imagine?
No, it's complete. Can you?
That's 14 years.
It's insane the amount of time they've been so powerful. I mean, this coach is honestly he's losing. Coach Gino is he's kind of losing it. I feel like this team is
he's
not.
Gone crazy.
He's gone crazy. This team is not looking good. I mean, obviously they don't have Paige buckets, but
they were too reliant on the
Paige.
one player, which they really never. They've always had superstars there, but they've had so many great players, all at the same time. This time, it doesn't look like they really have that.
Yeah.
They had the best player in women's basketball, but you lose her, and then now that they won their last game, so they bounced back from the loss to the unranked team. I think it was Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
But still, to be number 7 and have never been that badly ranked in 14 years.
One more thing before we get to the NFL, our Week 14 recap. What do you think? Juliana Pena, excuse me, beats one of the biggest upsets of all time.
They're calling it maybe the biggest upset.
The biggest, beats Amanda Nunes in MMA. We don't usually talk about this a lot, so this is...
I don't, we don't watch the pay-per-views and so forth, but I happen to see this they're showing highlights all the time because this is such a huge upset. This was an amazing fight.
Oh, yeah.
They were trading vicious blows back and forth. These women can really take a shot.
The right hook of Pena is very nice.
Yeah, and her jabs, she got her jabs in there. But she was actually getting kind of beat up.
Yeah.
In the first round.
Nunez is one of the best. It was probably the best. She hadn't lost since 2014.
Yes. No, she was. Everybody thought she was the most dominant fighter in mixed martial arts in history. But then she took a hit in the beginning of the second round, and she really was never the same. She kind of got flustered. They were still throwing right and left, back, pounding. But Pena can really take a punch.
Oh, yeah.
And she just kept coming. She wasn't giving up.
No.
And then she got this chokehold. And Nunez had to tap out.
Yeah.
Now, Pena is saying she's willing to give Nunez a rematch. If that happens, that's going to be huge.
Huge.
Anyway, it was big.
Oh, yes, absolutely. That was a big moment of this weekend.
Indeed.
Okay, now we got to get to week 14. First, I want to start out Bills, Bucks, OT. Opinion about both teams right now. This was I'm gonna start this out.
Yes, do so.
Okay, Bills were down 24-3.
Yeah.
This looks like it was going to be a dominant performance about the Bucks, but Josh Allen played so great in the second half that he brought this team back. I must say though, I saw him make another one of those careless errors where he just didn't decide to throw it away. He chucks it right on the sideline, easily, and it's getting intercepted. That's when they were I think at the 40, their own 40. If they had that, they could have
maybe
had a field goal.
You never know.
You never know. But I'm just saying, he brought this team back, and I think that was really clutch of him. And I think that's. It was a bounce back week for Josh Allen.
I don't really feel it was clutch, and I'll tell you why. You might find this interesting.
Okay.
I think he played like they'd already lost. He had nothing to lose. Why not just go crazy, see what we can do? He had nothing to lose because I think everybody, including the commentators, thought the game was over.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I did too.
Yeah, I did too.
Tony Romo did.
Yes, he did, and he said it.
Uh-huh.
And I really think so did the Bucks players.
Yeah, and then
so everybody just kind of let down. I don't know what they were doing. When you look at how they played in the first half, they looked unbelievable.
Yeah. Did you see that catch by Evans in the back corner?
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
And how good was Brady in the first half?
Brady was great.
I really think
they took their foot off the gas.
Oh yeah. And that's been a problem for the Bucks this year. They've had these times where they look like the best team in the NFL, and then they kind of go to sleep and stuff happens. Mm-hmm. But I really think you kind of can't judge. It was great what Josh Allen did, but I don't call that clutch because he had nothing. It wasn't like they were going back and forth, with one team going ahead by a score. Next team has to catch up back and forth. It wasn't that kind of game.
Absolutely.
That's where pressure is. When you're so far behind, you just fling it. Mm-hmm. He was great. He's a great athlete. You can tell how now he also got hurt a little bit.
But what do you think this does? The Bills are now 7-6. They are just hanging on in the playoff picture.
They're also 2-4 in the last 6 games.
It is not looking good. They've easily, because they play the Patriots again.
I think that's their only hard game of the last 4.
Yes, you are correct.
They should still make it. You could tell. To be able to do what they did, they're still a good team. Josh Allen he has the ability to do great things. Mm-hmm. I like the Bills. I've always liked the Bills. I don't think they're going to beat the Pats. But they should still get a wild card spot.
But now we want to go to the Chiefs. Look great. They look great. I'm going to start off this one. They won 48-9. Mahomes 20 for 24.
Yes.
Great percentage passing. 2 TDs, over 250 yards. The defense got a scoop and score in the first score of the game, early first quarter on a Jacobs fumble. This was a overpowering game for the Chiefs. And did you see what the Raiders did? They had a meeting on the Chiefs logo before the game.
The Raiders are kind of a joke, though.
They are.
It's not all. You can't put it all on the coach.
They were 6-6. Now they're 6-7.
The whole franchise has just crumbled. The coach turned out to have some issues, got fired or resigned or whatever. That created problems. They had, unfortunately, Ruggs incident with the...
Yeah, it's been a crazy year.
I guess you call that manslaughter. He's going to go to jail. In all likelihood, he's going to jail.
I would call it manslaughter.
Well, whatever.
It was an accident, obviously.
Yes, but he was a drunk driver at the time. So he... the things that have happened to the Raiders...
A lot of crazy things have happened.
You would have to be a great organization to not throw you off, but I kind of think when you look at Kansas City, they're obviously a great team. They've been a great team now for, 3 years in a row? I still think you have to... by the way, all the commentary now, everybody's on the Kansas City bandwagon.
Wait! Before you go on, let's go back to when Kansas City was 3-4 and everyone was pressing the panic button. I said, stay calm. Things are going to work out for the Chiefs.
You did.
And guess what? They have.
You did. And there are a few other people did, but not most.
Yes, not most.
But there were a few.
Kendrick Perkins agreed with me. Big Perk.
Big Perk. What do they call him?
Big Perk.
No, they have another nickname for him.
I'm not sure, but...
Not Wazoo.
No, get here, come on.
Anyway, here's my point. Kansas City's clearly very, very good. However, if you look at their wins, they've got, I think, there's 6 wins in a row now, something like that.
Yeah.
There's not really what you would put in that list as a really high-quality win. They're beating teams that all, they beat Green Bay when Green Bay didn't have Aaron Rodgers. That win, they've had 2 wins against the Raiders. The Raiders fell apart. Then they have no pass D that, it's like an open situation.
Okay, but...
So all I'm saying is they're obviously good. I don't believe they're as good as that score indicated or their
Chargers Chiefs coming up this Thursday.
That's huge.
That's huge. Could easily determine that division.
And the Chargers are suspect, but
right,
I think it's possible the Chargers could win that game.
All right, Washington football team.
That was disappointing.
That was disappointing. 2027. It looked like they had a good chance.
They did.
And then Kyle Allen just decides to fumble.
Honestly, it makes me kind of feel like neither team is very good because
Washington looked
Dallas
bad.
is supposed to be good because of their offense. Here they're up 24-0.
What about Parsons?
Parsons and Gregory.
He easily could have.
It's their D.
He could be the defensive player of the year.
And he's a rookie.
I know.
He's a rookie.
He's
not going to be defensive player.
No, but he's going to get defensive
I don't know
player.
if it's ever happened.
He's going to get rookie defensive player in the year.
But if it wasn't for their D, they would not have won that game. And they had a 24-0 lead.
Yes.
And it's kind of, there were weird games this week, you must admit.
Absolutely.
These big leads that then would disappear. And Washington, their offense isn't as good. Heineke, what Heineke really is he's a good, solid backup.
There's something I want to talk about, though.
You love Heineke.
I don't. I think he stinks.
He doesn't stink. He's just a good backup.
All right, Chargers,
but he's thrust into that role.
Chargers.
Are we back on Chargers?
Chargers are...
Chiefs.
I just want to talk about Chargers looked great. Did you see that throw by Herbert as he rolled out and muscled it down to Guyton?
Of course we got the good Herbert this week.
Yes, we did.
But who are we getting on Thursday?
Who knows? Okay.
It's a coin toss.
But
there's only 2 Herberts.
I want to talk
about...
A
good one and a bad one. There's no middle road. Oh, you love the Seahawks.
5-8.
Yeah.
They still have a chance at a winning record.
They have a chance, but it's not happening, buddy.
I'm just saying it's possible.
You've got to let this go. You've had your lifelong love of the Seahawks. I have the same problem. I have the problem. I always see only the good part of what Tom Brady's teams are doing, and you lose your objectivity. The Seahawks are not good.
No, but okay.
They're just not good.
Okay.
They're not going to go anywhere. They probably can't even keep Russell Wilson on the team.
Okay, what about... Well, he got hurt. That's why...
No, I'm talking about for next year.
All right, Niners win in OT against the Bengals 26-23. This is huge for the Niners.
Yes. And
terrible for the Bengals. Because now the Bengals...
They could still both make it, though.
They could. But the Bengals now are 7-6. I think they're tied... They're... Same record as the Bills, easily could drop out of this playoff. And this is why I think Miami still has a chance to get in.
Well, you almost feel like... Well, I feel the same way about the Colts.
Yeah.
The Colts lost. Or they lost the week before, but I think they still have a chance. So many teams still have a chance. But I kind of feel like watching the 49ers and Cincy. I want to believe in either team. But even if they make the playoffs, I really think... They're just going to be one and done.
I kind of agree.
What happened to Cincy's offense?
Yeah, I know.
Now,
Chase got 2 TDs.
yeah, but
And he had that great over-the-shoulder catch, but it didn't
Burrow
stand.
did not have a good game.
No, Burrow
They're
stinks.
turning the ball over, and that's not what they were doing before.
Absolutely.
So you can't. I want to believe in Cincy, but I feel like how can you? I thought like a couple of games ago, 49ers were really working that ground game. They were getting everything right, but they don't look like they can really beat a good team.
I agree, because the Niners didn't look like they had something in them. Then they lost. Now they're in a tight game with the Bengals. Very tight, although they did have control of most of the game until very late.
Yeah, but still, do they really look like if they go up against a good team, they can win?
I think it's possible.
Do you think they're going to beat Tampa Bay?
We got to wrap our show up. Thank you for watching Sports Right Now. We're saying so long from our studios. Goodbye from Sports Right Now. Sports Right Now.